which is referred as ultrastructure of bacterial cell. Ultrastructure of bacterial cell. Now, by this time you are well aware, I think, that what are bacteria, what are different microorganisms, what are prokaryotes, what are eukaryotes, what are basic differences between these prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and what are their morphological and cytological differences between these microorganisms. So in this unit, we are restricting ourselves only to the morphological and cytological uh, properties of bacterial cell, right? We are concentrating in this particular unit on morphological and cytological studies of bacterial cell. Hope all of you know that bacteria are prokaryotes, isn't it? What do you mean by prokaryote, and what is difference between prokaryote and eukaryotic cells? Can anybody quickly tell me the difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell?
Eukaryotic cells are single cells, and prokaryotic cells having more cells.
Exactly opposite you are saying. Prokaryotes are single and mostly prematured, rather you can say, whereas eukaryotes are well defined. They have well defined nucleus, nuclear membrane is there. That nuclear membrane is lacking in prokaryotes, right? So bacteria is a prokaryotic organism, and we are supposed to study the morphology and cytology of bacteria. ठीक है, ये अपना एम है. अब ये जब यूनिट अपन पढ़ेंगे या इसमें पढ़ाई करेंगे, तो एक्सपेक्टेड ये है कि आपको क्या पता होना चाहिए या क्या आपको समझना चाहिए इसमें से. और यू शुड बी अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड एक्वायरिंग द नॉलेज रिगार्डिंग morphology of bacteria, then shapes of bacteria, different shapes of bacteria. You should also know what is meant by pleomorphism and polymorphism. You should also understand how are the arrangements. Of course shapes तो आपको पता ही हो करने हैं, लेकिन arrangements, how the different types of bacteria are arranged and how they are observed under a microscope or so forth. Then you should also be studying, or you will be also studying cytology of bacteria, where different organelles I mean to say, which are associated with the bacterial cell are to be studied. It may be capsule, it may be cell wall, it may be cell membrane, it may be flagella, it may be certain inclusive bodies like polybeta hydroxybutyrate granules, which are lipid granules, or spores, cysts. These inclusive bodies are also to be studied. Now we will restrict ourselves to the syllabus only. Whatever is mentioned in your syllabus, we will discuss that. So I uh, will request all of you to, whenever we start a new unit or whatever the unit is going on, you should be well aware with the aspects what are included in that unit, so that by mistake if I miss something, you should be able to let me know that this particular point is being missed, right? तो आप लोग थोड़ा ध्यान रखिए कि अपना जो सिलेबस है, सिलेबस को जरा देखा कीजिए, और जो सिलेबस में पॉइंट है अपन उसी को स्टिक अप रहेंगे. लेकिन एक आध बार ऐसा हो सकता है कि एक आधा पॉइंट मिस हो जाए मुझसे, तो आपको वो मुझे बताना पड़ेगा कि सर ये पॉइंट आपका मिस हुआ है जो कि सिलेबस में है. ओके, लेट अस स्टार्ट विथ टुडेज टॉपिक, that is ultrastructure of bacterial cell. I will be sharing my screen. You will just note whether you are able to see my screen or not. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, in ultrastructure of bacterial cell, we are, as I stated, mostly we will be dealing with morphology and cytology of bacteria, right? We will be studying cytology and morphology of bacteria. So what first we will talk about morphology. Now what is meant by morphology? Morphology of bacteria, when we talk about morphology, basically deals with the study, or we can say it is a science. Morphology is a science that deals with the study of size, shape, structure, and arrangement of organism. I repeat, now we are restricting ourselves to bacterial cell, and therefore when you talk about morphology of bacteria, we can say that morphology is the branch of science that deals with the study of size, shape, structure, and arrangement of bacteria in this respect. As I stated, bacteria are prokaryotic cells, and when you talk about a prokaryotic cell, these are certain highlights of a prokaryotic cell. The very first thing what you need to remember regarding any prokaryotic cell, whether it is bacteria or anything else, is that there is no nucleus or organelles bound in the membrane. Means nuclear membrane is absent. Whatever inclusions are there, they are in the cytoplasm. In prokaryotes, only cytoplasmic membrane is there, nuclear membrane is lacking. That is the major difference between prokaryote and eukaryote. As a result of this, in case of prokaryotes, DNA is a single circular chromosome. It is a single circular chromosome. You cannot refer it as nucleus. You cannot refer it as nucleus because this DNA, which we refer as chromosome of bacteria, do not have histones which are normally found to be associated with this DNA in eukaryote. So no histones are associated with DNA. And basically the cell wall of prokaryotic bacteria, they are made up of polymers of N-acetyl glucosamine and N-acetyl muramic acid, which are cross-linked with polypeptide chains. I repeat, the cell wall of peptidoglycan or cell wall of this prokaryote is made up of peptidoglycan. Now, what is this peptidoglycan? It is a component, a major component rather you can say, involved in formation of a cell wall. And you know very well what is the importance of cell wall. Cell wall gives a rigid and firm structure to the cell. Now, whatever the morphology of the cell will be there, that will be dependent on the cell wall, right? So cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, and peptidoglycan is actually a polymer which is cross-linked with polypeptide chain where N-acetyl muramic acid and N-acetyl glucosamine, these are cross-linked to one another. That we will see in detail when we will be talking about cytology. In cytology, we are supposed to deal in detail structure of cell wall of gram-positive organism as well as gram-negative organism. There we are going to discuss that in detail. Apart from that, in prokaryotes, you will find smaller units of ribosomes. That too again in cytoplasm. And this bacterial cell mostly divide by binary fission. That is, from one cell it gets transformed asexually into two cells, not by mitosis. Right? So division is by binary fission. So these are some of the prominent characteristics of prokaryotes. Okay. Now, as I stated, morphology of bacteria, when we deal with it, is a study of size and shape, structure and arrangement, right? Four parameters are to be studied. What are they? Size, shape, structure and arrangement, right? And normally the size is counted in micron. Now this, you can see here the scale, 1 micron is equal to 1000 nanometer, that is 10 raised to minus 6, right, millimeter. So we normally count bacteria or major bacteria in micron or micrometer. Viruses basically in nanometer or angstrom. Viruses basically in nanometer or angstrom, whereas eukaryotes in mm, right? Eukaryotic cells, we normally measure them in mm, right? Now, when you talk about shapes of bacteria, basically bacteria exhibit three fundamental shapes. Bacteria basically exhibit three fundamental shapes. And what are these three fundamental shapes? First one is spherical, which is also called as cocci, or coccus. You can see here. So these are circular, spherical shape. It normally referred as cocci or coccus. The second prominent shape of bacteria, which is more prominently seen, is rods. Right? They are rods like this. Now in this also there is variation. Some rods are with flat ends, some rods are with curved ends, some rods are with comma shaped rods are also there. So all these different types of morphological differences you can find. So first is spherical, second is rod, and third is spiral, or sometimes you may refer it as helical also. You can refer it as spiral or helical. So these are three prominent shapes of bacteria which you will normally find amongst the bacteria. First is cocci, bacillus and spiral, right? Now arrangement can be different. Arrangements can be different. So when you talk about spherical bacteria, spherical bacterial cells, these are designated as cocci. These are designated as cocci और singular उसको coccus कहा जाता है. Plural is cocci and singular is coccus. Some cocci are perfect spheres like this. Some cocci are perfect spheres, whereas others are slightly elongated. Some are perfect spheres like this, whereas others are slightly elongated, which is called as ellipsoid shape. Say for example, this is like this, right? So some will be exact sphere, some are ellipsoid. So that is again referred as cocci itself, right? So cocci or coccus can be a perfect circle or slightly elongated, which is called as ellipsoidal shape. Ellipsoidal shape, slightly elongated, right? Then coming to the second one, that is rod shaped bacteria. The rod shaped bacteria, they are cylindrical cells. These are termed as rod or bacilli or bacillus. Bacilli is a plural terminology. Singular is Bacillus. Now this Bacillus is a most common shape amongst the bacteria. It is a stick-like or rod-like structure. You can, when we draw it, we draw normally like this. This is when we draw the figure, or in under microscope, light microscope, you will be observing rods like this. Whereas cocci, you will be observing like this. Getting me? So that is the difference. Coccus or cocci, these are circular, rods are cylindrical. Among these rods show considerable variation in length and width ratio. Some of the rods are very small in size. उसका लेंथ भी कम होता है और width भी कम होता है. Such type of rods which are very small in size, they are normally referred as coccobacilli. They are normally called as coccobacilli. What are coccobacilli? Coccobacilli are very short rods which normally resembles cocci. If you don't look it properly, many of the time mistakenly these coccobacilli rods are referred as cocci because they are very small in length and width also. They are very small in length and width also. So very small cocci can be referred as coccobacilli because they resemble cocci. Because they resemble cocci. Whereas many of the rods show variation at the end. As I stated, the rod ends show variation in shape, such as some will be having flat end like this. Some will be having round end like this. Right? Sorry. Some will be having a cigar shaped end, slightly curved one. Yeah. Like this. So variation is there in the ends of the rod, right? So rods, these are cylindrical, most common form of bacteria in the environment. The rods show considerable variation in length and width. Depending upon the length and width, if the length and width is very small, they appear like cocci and hence they are referred as coccobacilli. They may have variation at the end. Sometimes it may be flat, rounded or cigar shape. Right? So, and arrangement also. You can see when two cocci they are in pair. This is called as diplococcus. When they are in a bunch like grapes, जैसे grapes होते हैं ना bunch में, वैसे अगर है तो उसको cluster कहा जाता है. And if the cocci is in chain, cocci arranged one by other, it is called as cocci in chain. Right? The examples are Streptococcus, Staphylococcus. Right? So these are the prominent shapes of bacteria. Right? So again I summarize this. There are three prominent shapes of bacteria: spherical, rod and spiral. So we have talked about spherical, rod. Let us talk about spiral. Now you can see the spiral one. Spiral or helical bacteria, these are also called as helical. The spiral का मीनिंग एक्चुअली डिक्शनरी मीनिंग होता है कॉइलिंग. इसका मीनिंग है कॉइलिंग. Bacteria, the spiral bacteria are curved rods. These are curved rods. You can see the curve. You can see the curve, right? like this. Like this, you will find the curve, right? The spiral bacteria are curved rods which vary in diameter, length, number of curves, rigidity, and flexibility. There is a lot of variation in the spiral form of bacteria. These are curved rods, vary in diameter, length, number of you can say curve, rigidity, and flexibility. Some are rigid, some are flexible. They are of different types. For example, the very first you can say arrangement or type is spira. Spirilla. Now this spirilla, it is a rigid helical bacteria showing two or more twists along its axis. It shows two or more twists. And these twists are also at the same length. That is the beauty of the structure, that whatever these bends are there or curves are there, these curves are at prominent position. So when a rigid helical bacteria is showing two or more twists along its axis, these are called as spirulina. Spirulina or spirulum as a singular. These bacteria appears like a corkscrew. जसं स्क्रू असतो ना, स्क्रूला जसे ग्रूज असतात त्या टाईपची यांची मुवमेंट असते, राईट. स्प्रिंग सारखं दिसतं ऍक्च्युअली. ते मायक्रोस्कोप मध्ये जर तुम्ही बघितलं तर मायक्रोस्कोप मध्ये ते ऍक्च्युअली असे दिसतात. These are the spiral. Then second one is spirochete. Spirochetes. Spirulum is first one. Second one is spirochete. Now the spirochetes, these are highly flexible helical bacteria which are showing series of twists. They are showing series of twists like this. These are called as spirochetes. The best example of spirochete is Treponema. Treponema pallidum. This is a causative organism of syphilis. Treponema pallidum, which is normally referred as TP. This is a causative organism or responsible for a cause of syphilis, which is one of the sexually transmitted diseases. And this spirochete is highly flexible. It is highly flexible. Once it enters into the body, it can drive like a screw into your cells. It can, because it has a tapering end. It has a tapering end. And with this tapering end, it can enter into the intact cell. Normally, bacteria cannot enter into the intact cell unless and until it gets a receptor. इसलिए we say that our skin is a first barrier. Even if organism is stuck up to your skin, cannot enter in your body unless and until there is a opening. If your skin is cut, then that is the opening, from that microorganism can enter. But this Treponema or spirulums, spirochetes, which are the pathogenic organism, they can enter into the interior of the cell with a driving action of screw. It can, having a tapering end, it can pierce itself into the cell and go on rotating. Once it rotates, it will move into the interior of the cell. जसं आपण स्क्रू ड्रायव्हरनी फिरवतो तर इंटॅक्ट एरिया मध्ये तो आतमध्ये घुसतो की नाही, तसेच हे स्पायरोचिट्स आहेत. त्यांना टॅपरिंग एंड आहेत. एकदा आतमध्ये एंट्री केले की मग शरीरात ते कुठेही फिरू शकतात. दे कॅन ट्रॅव्हल ॲट एनी साइड इन द body and damage the host a lot. So that is about the spirochetes. These spirochetes, it's resemble like spring सारखे दिसतात, right? Then the third one type of spiral bacteria is comma shaped. Comma shaped bacteria. Now these are neither rods nor exact spiral, but intermediate to that. These are comma shaped like this. This sort of morphology, some of the microorganisms they show. These comma shaped bacteria, these are basically short, incomplete spirals and hence are known as comma shaped bacteria. The best example of comma shaped bacteria is Vibrio. Vibrio cholerae, which is the causative agent of cholera. Cholera is a disease caused by this organism Vibrio cholerae, and this comma shaped appearance is prominently seen in the natural specimen sample. जसं फॉर एक्झाम्पल जर एखादा पेशंट असेल कॉलराचा, तर कॉलराचे मेजर सिम्पटम्स काय आहेत? डायरिया अँड ओमिटिंग, राईट? सो इफ यू टेक द stool sample of a patient suffering from cholera and mount it on the slide and observe under microscope, because the stool sample of the patient is a natural specimen sample, you will find this sort of morphology, comma shape. But if this organism from the natural specimen sample is isolated in laboratory on different types of media, then it loses this curvature. It loses its curvature and then it appears as a rod, small cocobacillary rod like this. उसका कर्वेचर निकल जाता है कब? अगर आप उसको लेबोरेटरी में ग्रो करते हो तो। नेचुरल स्पेसिमेन सैंपल में अगर आप देखते हो तो आपको कर्वेचर दिखेगा, कॉमा शेप्ड ऑर्गेनिज्म दिखेंगे। लेकिन आप अगर उसको ग्रो करते हो मीडिया पे लेबोरेटरी में और फिर उसका माइक्रोस्कोपिक ऑब्जर्वेशन करते हो तो आपको ये दिखेगा कि इसका कर्वेचर निकल चुका है या इट हैज लॉस्ट इट्स कर्वेचर, एंड नाउ these rods or comma shaped organisms which earlier were observed as comma shaped from the natural specimen sample, after growing them in the laboratory on bacteriological media and when they were observed under microscope, they appear as cocobacillary rod, small, right? That is the difference between this. Follow? यहां तक के समझ में आया सबको?
Yes, sir.
हाँ सर।
Okay. Now, coming apart from, now these are the usual forms of bacteria which you may commonly see. There are certain unusual forms of bacteria also. You can see what I have talked just now. You can see this in the slide. These are cocci, coccus, isolated, single isolated cocci, cocci in duplet. These are called as diplococcus, right? Cocci can be isolated single or they can be in combination, in pair. So they are called as diplococcus. They can be in chain called as streptococcus. They can be forming a cluster called as staphylococcus, right? Single isolated cocci, cocci in duplet. वैसे ही कोकाई इन टेट्राड भी होते हैं, मींस 4. Instead of 2, if they are 4, it is called as cocci in tetrad, cocci in chain, cocci in cluster, right? Similarly, you can have rods Rods can be isolated, they can be in pair, right? They can be in chain, right? Most of the rods may be flagellated. So this flagella is also there, but mostly under light microscope you are not able to visualize this. Motility can be seen by special staining technique, and if motility is there, you can say that the organism is flagellated, right? Mostly flagella is associated with rod-shaped bacteria. They are not seen with cocci, right? Now these are the spiral forms which can be of different length, size, breadth, and twists, number of twists, right? So this is more dangerous, pathogenic. This is more dangerous and pathogenic. It is Treponema pallidum, right? Spirochetes. So cocci, bacilli, vibrios, comma shaped cocci. It can be spherical, oval shaped, or bacilli, rod shaped, vibrios, comma shaped. Spirula, spirulum, it is rigid spiral form like this, and spirochetes, it is flexible spiral form. Because of this flexibility, it can enter into the interior of the cell, even the intact cell. Actinomycetes are there, which are branching filaments bacteria, and mycoplasmas are there. These mycoplasmas are those cells which lacks the cell wall. These are also called as L-form bacteria. L-form bacteria, because they lack the cell wall. They don't have any rigid shape as such, right? Now these are what we have seen is a usual form of bacteria. Now there can be certain unusual shapes also, which are very rare. Bacteria with unusual shapes. In addition to three fundamental shapes, like spherical, rods, and spiral, many others may also be seen. For example, sometimes you may have a pear-shaped cell like this. Face में बड़ा होगा, pear-shaped cell. Sometimes you may have a rod with square end like this. उसमें एक prominent organism है which is known to cause anthrax. Bacillus anthracis is the organism which is with square ends. It is a rod but square end. There are square cells also like this. Some are lobe spears, sulfolobus. Lobes, lobe spear can be there. These are very what you can say unusual shapes which are not prominently found, but sometimes you may come across this. So it's not that important, but you can keep in mind that there can be unusual shapes also. Pear-shaped cells can be there, rods with square end can be there, square cells can be there, and lobe spears can also be seen very rarely. Again, the same thing is there. This is square bacteria, you can see like this. Then, that another one thing I would like to emphasize is this pleomorphism. Now, normally, whatever the prominent shapes are there of the bacteria, based on the shapes, different names are given. So, just for example, this is cocci. This is Diplococcus, means two cocci together. So, throughout the slide, if you see, they will always appear like this. So, they are referred as cocci in duplex. Cocci in duplex, yeah, Diplococcus you can say. And if you find the arrangement of the cocci in chain, We normally refer cocci chains as streptococci. Yes, streptococcus. You can have an arrangement that cocci in tetrads, cocci in bunch, staphylococcus. And this is a three-dimensional specific arrangement. Three-dimensional arrangement और ये specific रहेगा. This is one of the example is Sarcina. ये कैसे भी हो सकता है, ये नहीं, ये वैसे ही रहेगा हमेशा. So there is difference between tetrad and Sarcina. Not only four, there can be many, but they are in a specific arrangement only. Right? So when this type of morphological arrangements are there, these are the specific arrangements. Similar is the case with rods. You can see Bacillus, Diplobacillus, Streptococcus, Streptobacillus, trichomes, palisade, which are the rods arranged vertically. Now these are horizontally arranged, vertically arranged, right? So palisade arrangement, it is called. Small rods with curved ends, these are called as cocobacillary rod, which are very less in length and width, and slightly curved rods, these are called as comma shaped rods, right? Spirulum में आपको मैंने कहा था, it can be a spirulum, two twists are there, many twists are there, spirochete, and certain filamentous bacteria, mycelium sort of thing you will get. जैसे मैंने कहा कि certain bacteria are there which can show this type of arrangement. Mycelial sort of filament is seen when it is observed under microscope. The best example is actinomycetes. Actinomycetes show mycelial type of growth. Then the fifth one is the square type bacteria, which is very you can say unusual shape to be seen. Certain sort of appendage bacteria are there. Sometimes show a raising hyphae or bud. Again, this is very rare. But this is more prominently seen amongst many of the bacteria which are called as pleomorphic organism. Pleomorphic. Can anybody tell me what is meant by pleomorphic or pleomorphism? What is meant by pleomorphism? This is what you need to know. Let me see whether I have the slide of pleomorphism. If it is there, I will show. Yes. Now, what is pleomorphism? Pleomorphism, as I stated, most bacterial species, they have a characteristic and constant shape. जैसे या तो वो रॉड होगा या कोकाई होगा या स्पाइरल होगा, ये prominent shapes है उसके, right? So most bacteria, they have this prominent shape, but there are some organisms that show changes in their shapes to certain extent. You can see there. You can see here. There are certain changes. Sometimes it is appearing as a cocobacillary rod. Sometimes it is appearing as a rod shape. Sometimes a ellipsoid sort of thing is there, right? So when this type of morphological changes are seen, when a bacteria or an organism show changes in their shapes to certain extent, to some extent, this phenomena of showing different morphological changes, this phenomena is known as pleomorphism. For example, if you take an example of Arthrobacter species, if you take an example of Arthrobacter species, these are highly pleomorphic. These are highly pleomorphic. Means they are constantly showing different arrangements. Even Corynebacteria. This is also one of the organism responsible for cause of diphtheria. This organism also shows pleomorphism. Even Rhizobium. Now, whether you talk about Arthrobacter, Corynebacterium or Rhizobium, the prominent morphology shown by this organism is rod cell. It is rod. Arthrobacter, Corynebacter and Rhizobium, if you see the literature, you will find that they are recorded as rod-shaped bacteria. And mostly they are seen as rod-shaped under microscope. But many of the time it happens that when they are grown in bacteriological media in the laboratory, they show pleomorphism. They show pleomorphism. And what sort of pleomorphism you see? Say for example, if you observe them under microscope, actually expected is that they should be observed as rod. But instead of that, you can see all Chinese letter there. Say for example, this, then you can find this. ऐसे सब लेटर्स आपको दिखेंगे, X, V, L, A भी दिख सकता है. When rod comes like this, it will form this. So when this type of arrangements are there, pleomorphism is variation in the arrangement. Right? ये बात समझ में आ रही है? And another one term is there, which is called as polymorphism. Can anybody tell me the difference between pleomorphism and polymorphism? Yes? Pleomorphism समझ लगा?
Poly means single.
पॉली म्हणजे सिंगल कसं होईल बेटा? पॉली म्हणजे मेनी. पॉली म्हणजे मेनी. Morphism is morphology. When a bacterial cell shows different morphological forms, it is called as polymorphism. And what is pleomorphism? Pleomorphism talks with the different types of arrangement. It is not changing its morphology. The arrangement is changing. So for example, if one organism is basically rod shape, when I observed it today, and after 2 days, suppose I am observing, it is appearing as, say, cocci. Then after some time, it is changing to square. Then it is again coming to rod. So it is changing its morphology. It is changing its morphology. So when morphology is changed by a organism, or when a bacteria shows different morphological forms, then it is called as polymorphism. Poly means many and morphology. Many morphologies are shown by the same bacteria, then it is called as polymorphism. And pleomorphism, it is not changing the morphology. You can see whatever the letters you are there seeing there, these letters are made up of rods. So morphology is not changed. Only the arrangement is changed. Instead of well isolated rods, now it is changing the arrangement. It is changing the arrangement, and you are getting different forms of letters there. This is called as Pleomorphism. This is called as pleomorphism. Understood? Understood the difference between pleomorphism and polymorphism? Got the difference? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, are you able to understand the difference between pleomorphism and polymorphism?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, polymorphism is not generally seen. Getting me? Polymorphism is not generally seen. Means ऐसा नहीं होता है कि बैक्टीरिया रॉड शेप्ड है, फिर बाद में वो कोकाई हो गया, फिर स्पाइरल हो गया, या फिर और नॉर्मली फॉर्म चेंज नहीं करता बैक्टीरिया. लेकिन पुराने जब इतना इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं था माइक्रोबायोलॉजी के बारे में, तो कॉन्स्टेंटली ऐसा देखा गया था कि लिक्विड मीडिया में जब ऑर्गेनिज्म को ग्रो करते और एक पर्टिकुलर पीरियड के बाद उसका माइक्रोस्कोपिक ऑब्जर्वेशन करते थे, तो जो डोमिनेंट होता है वो मॉर्फोलॉजी दिखती है. तो डोमिनेंट कौन होगा? which is able to grow properly, so that will be dominating in a mixed culture. So normally that morphology is seen. And with respect to time, it always happens that when a cell is growing, it will die also. So when the cell dies, its population falls down, and the other one which is dominating, its morphology will be seen. So it was mistakenly being recorded as the organisms are polymorphic. तो नॉर्मली ऐसे होता नहीं है, लेकिन रेयर केस में ऐसा हो भी सकता है. यू कैन नॉट डिनाई, एक्सेप्शंस हो सकते हैं, लेकिन पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म इज ए प्रोमिनेंट फेनोमेना. यू कैन टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस. बेस्ट एग्जांपल इज ऑफ राइजोबियम. You know that rhizobium is a nitrogen fixing bacteria, and that too it fixes nitrogen symbiotically in association with leguminous plants. आता सध्या मेथीचा सीझन आहे. तुम्ही बघितलं असेल, आता आपण नॉर्मली मेथी घेताना किती हिरवी आहे किंवा किती छान आहे, मतलब एरियल पार्ट वो देख के लेते. कभी उसके रूट को भी देखा करो. If roots are healthy, of course shoot will be healthy, and healthiness of root is determined by root nodules which are present on the root hair. तर तुम्ही जर समजा मेथी रूट्स बघितले तर त्याच्यावरती तुम्हाला रूट नोड्यूल्स दिसतील. फॉर एक्झाम्पल दिस इज रूट्स. यू विल फाइंड दैट दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ नोड्यूल्स आर देयर. Now these nodules, if you break open this nodule, two types of nodule you will get. One type of nodule, when you break open, the inside of this nodule is pink. Pink color of the nodule in the interior is an indication of effective nodulation, is an indication that rhizobium is there, and that is able to symbiotically fix nitrogen for that particular plant. But there are, or there can be certain nodules which you break open, they will be black inside. They will be black inside. So these are not effective. These are not effective nodules. They do not contain this rhizobium. Rather, they may damage the plant, right? So if this root nodule are taken, and if you crush the root nodule of this leguminous plant and take a lookful of this suspension and prepare a slide and observe under microscope, you will find pleomorphism. You will find that some are like this, some are arranged 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 like this, and so forth. Right? So all these type of changes in the arrangement can be very well seen. That is called as pleomorphism. Hope you have understood the difference between pleomorphism and polymorphism. समजलं का?
हो sir.
Okay.
Sir.
So I think we will stop here and we will
Okay.
continue tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. We will stop here.